Welcome to Lore and Explore number 11. They haven't really always been called that, but I'm going to give it a try. I decided to go ahead and record a Let's Play, even though I may do one later this evening, for a couple different reasons. I've had a kind of a spot of vacation time, and things just aligned so that I could actually put some time into the game and really explore for several days, on and off, you know, not straight. And so I've done a bunch of Let's Plays during that time, the ones numbered earlier than 11. But I'm not going to have that kind of time after this weekend, so there are a few things I really wanted to set in place before I got to that point. And one of them is, so obviously, as you can see, I don't have my hyperdrive yet, and that's because I'm an explorer at heart. I'm in no hurry, and also I started out in a system that had some really interesting things going on. Whoops! And you can see some of the markers I've placed on other worlds so that I can get back to them eventually, and I can't see that one. Anyway, this world is one I have named Dren, and it is the world that feels most like home of the ones in this system. And yes, I know I'm about to embark upon an endless, string of systems forever, but I really love it. This is like a Savannah Island paradise. It's really weird. And I just wanted to document that a little bit before I installed my hyperdrive, which I plan to do tonight in a second Let's Play. The other thing is that I have a plan for how I'm going to manage to stay here. These fellows, by the way, have grown to kind of love me because I kind of feed them a lot. So there's this whole camp of them here, and I really don't know if that's because... Oh, see, I fed a couple, and now it's not letting me feed more. But anyway, they're behaving the same way, so who cares? I don't know... What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't know if, like, they are showing up here. Here, just take a look at this. There's, like, a whole family of them over by this cave. One second here. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Oh, I can feed. Alright, I'm gonna try to feed this guy. Hold on. I think he may be an alpha from the crest. Oh, a little competition. Oh, come on, there you go. Yeah, I mean you no harm. This is actually a strange spot for this family here. I mean, it's just a little station, but honestly, it's one of the only places with a landing pad I have found on Dren in a while. And that's been one of the only downsides of Dren that I've found so far. Every single species that I've found seems to be docile or shy, which is awesome, because I can explore, at will. The environment is beautiful. There are some really intriguing things about the natural environment that I hope I'll touch upon. I think I already tapped that one. Touch upon as we go. But it's the only landing pad I've found in a while. I really want to find what's it called? A trading post. I'm going to write that down because I keep forgetting what it's called. It's called a trading post. And this, I would call it a spaceport. It's basically an area with several landing pads that many ships take off from. It's just a good place, to be able to contact in order to get slightly better prices from the pilots. And usually, often by following ships, you can find your way to a trading post. I haven't had luck with that yet, and it took a long time just to find this landing pad. Notice, by the way, this strange rendering bug with my favorite ship, here. That's okay. It doesn't happen when it's on the ground. Hold on a moment. Nothing found. It's okay. It's all good. So I want to get my ship to a trading post. My ship, the Ageokiv S-85. I still don't know. I call it the Grasshopper. I want to get it there because I've decided what I'm going to do is save this game on a fresh account, or, well, honestly I can't figure out how to do that yet, but I am going to save the game on disk so that I can come back at any moment, on flash drive, so I can come back, you know, at any time to this place, if, like, basically, you know, if and when my character stops playing forever, this is the last place he'll come in order to sort of, you know, say goodbye, or whatever it is, you know, whatever bittersweet spin you want to put on it. I love this place and I love this system, even though some kind fellow named, what's his name, named, oh, weird, okay, named Selitz, that's funny, it blanked this whole thing out, named one of the planets in the system that I had not seen and that must be hidden, like, beyond the planets I can see. Selena, which didn't bother me until he named this one, which I've hidden, Taylor Swift. Clearly I can't get it out of my craw. Whatever, I've got to let it go. He also chose to name the system the default name, luckily, because if hadn't, it might have been Justin Bieber or any number of things. Informolocapi, which is unwieldy, but at least not completely offensive. And if I had been thinking, I would have reported it. So I may do that in the future, and I may be off base doing that. You know, everyone gets to play in their own way, but the thing is, he's moved on. You know, he or she has moved on towards the center, and is probably not kind of making a home here for a character. Whatever. I mean, you can hide it. That's fine. Okay, I need to find a station. That's my goal for this Let's Play. This Let's Play will end soon after I find a trading post, and until then, I'm basically going to try my the method of scouting a planet that I've developed to this point, sort of methodically, to do so. So, without further ado, let's play No Man's Sky. So you can see that I have an annoying number of markers at work. And these here, in fact, you can see are all, well, all so close to each other that you can't tell what the deal is. 11 hours away, 9 hours away, 10 hours away. Those are on the other side of the planet, okay? Ones up here, which I probably still won't be able to get to, are on, there you go, this is a good example. Well, I can't remember which planet this is. I suspect it might be Gek-Kurag. Yeah, I think it is. They're showing up to me, and you know, and they're on another world. So I do that by beaconing and pinging sites, and deliberately around a certain radius that I want to kind of pin on the map, on the world, on the globe, and deliberately not accessing those sites just yet, because the moment I do, the markers go away. This way, if I leave, go to the station, come back, go to other worlds, go to a different spot on the planet, as I'm approaching from the station, I can do the same thing in a different part of the world and find it again someday. Man, these guys are really sending a strong hint that I should follow them. And so when we leave here, that is what we will do. And it would be pretty funny if this Let's Play ended up being like 20 minutes long. But, oh, another thing I've learned, by the way, I've been pretty down on Thamium 9. It has seemed, you know, I mean, you can fly straight up in the air and grab as much of it as you need for your thrust to the station at any given moment without having to use any of it to get there. But it's also useful for 2 out of your 3 resource-using supplies, which keeps you from burning through your precious plutonium to do it. And although plutonium is relatively accessible, it's still eaten up by launch thruster, and it's still needed for building bypass chips, which are very important for use with beacons, among other things. So, I said I was going to play, and here I stand. Alright, let's do this. Come on. There we go. My fault. Okay, so I've gotten in the habit of pinging a monolith and pinging a shelter, at least, each time I do this. The shelter, seemingly more than half the time, takes me to a drop pod. Although they're getting more expensive, they're still nowhere near the... I'm skipping transmission altogether, because half the time those leads enter those, I need to tick off the the Sentinel, a sort of neutral. I try not to do that. I basically just want to leave them alone and develop as little poor relation with them as possible. So I'm skipping transmission in these. I am pinging Colonial Outpost because I'm hoping eventually that leads to a trading post. So let's see what we got. And so these tend to be as close as, you know, a minute away on foot to a couple of hours away. And so this one, for instance, is 20 minutes away. That 9 hours one is a pin still tagged for a ship on the other side of course, the world. So, you know, we ping that, we've got a marking point. And the further ones away are, well, so here's the deal. Even if you mark a number of close ones, and you mark a number of further ones from orbit, or really from the space station, they all show up on the globe as being, you know, within a small quadrant operations center. See, now, I'm going to go to one of those next because I honestly thought, I don't know if those are locked as well. we're going to try that out. I didn't see how far away it was. We'll see when we get in the air, but basically from the station you can see them cluster, which means you can get back to a certain area on the planet. You know, and so that's right now, that seems to be the only way to find your way back to a relatively local area. The moment you discover a site, it disappears from your map. In fact, and the moment apparently you warp out of a site, it disappears entirely if you return. So that's another good reason to save this here. And I've ordered a bunch of flash drives so that I can just save worlds on them as I need to. Cumbersome, but that's what we've got right now. Shelter. Doesn't say what. Okay. Alright, that's okay. I can live with all that. That's good. Alright, let's do this. Let's go. Let's explore. I'll try to point out interesting things I see as we go. If you enjoy this Let's Play, so this is going to be a mix of commentary and discussion of lore, of story, based around the idea and the overall approach that if we take everything we get from the game at face value and we try to think of reasons why it might be that way, we come up with really interesting hooks for the story. And the lore begins to evolve almost on its own. So that's the approach I'm going to take, and you'll hear me talk about things that, you know, it's like they never said in a patch that was the official story. This is working with deductive reasoning from the clues the game is giving us. So let's land and see what we've got. Okay. You know, and so for those of you that have seen prior installments, I will point out some things, you know, that are old hat to you. Features of this world, like these avocado-like iron shells. These floating rocks are made of copper, and this whole, and I've seen these in other Let's Play videos, so I know they're not unique to this world, but they do, I think they do express, as a player, as a metagamer, I know, they're on other worlds. I'm kind of wondering if they express certain, see, I haven't even checked into my flag beacon yet here. Let's do that first. I get a little sidetracked and get excited exploring. I love the flag, by the way, and I don't know whether these banners are unique to every given planet, whether each one has different ones, what the deal is, but I really like the one on Kainadren. I know there was a different one at most of the locations on my birth planet, my sort of waking up planet, which is named Akarazai, after my character. Fascinating. The joke that always is old. Okay, so I know these aren't unique to this world, but I'm wondering if they express certain aspects of the natural order on that world. And the first time I reach another world that has these, I'm going to be looking for that to test that idea. And by that I mean this. Pretty close to here, in any given direction, one should be able to find a crater. Of course, this will be the one that proves me wrong. Look at some of these guys, by the way. This is almost like Super Mario World in certain ways as well. You've got, like, everything is a bouncing fungus, or else you've got those docile vegetation eaters. Yeah, there really is a lot of traffic. There, by the way, is the other ship of my dreams, and the one I'm probably going to try and purchase. Sorry about that. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful there's something over there. Alright. Well, we'll see a crater soon enough. And I'll talk a little bit about what those have suggested to me when we get there. So, you know, one thing you, the character, would notice, limiting yourself to just the worlds you start out on, is that the architectural language, the modules, the components of everything you see all seem very similar or nearly the same. And you may wonder, as a character, why that is. You know, they clearly draw from the same blueprints, the same design vocabulary. The help text refers to shelters as a way to help explorers. You know, like they're stocked, they can shelter you from the elements, etc., etc. And so, I begin to wonder. We begin to wonder. When I say we, I mean the character, and we'll talk about I guess we'll talk about conventions now. That convention. In order to talk about what I know as a gamer, and I'm not a gamer actually. I mean, I know as a person. I say that because apparently a lot of gamers really dislike this game, and I'm an explorer and I love this game. So I don't know what I am, but I don't play many games. You know, my other favorite game on the PS was 3 at the time was Journey. So that tells you something. Favorite game on the iPad is Swords and Sorcery. So there you have it. When I say someone who reads the internet and knows information, because I'm not really afraid of spoilers since we're developing a lot of the lore by hand by taking in what we see. I'll say I, and when I say our character, those characters who are exploring these worlds in many different instances right now, the character you control as well as mine, I will say we the explorers, we the sojourners, I've been calling them. So let's take a look at what word we have here. My Gek vocabulary has grown pretty large. Follow. I've been writing down the words in sequence since I began picking them up, because it turns out the sequence has an order to it, and I mean they keep coming, they're not repeating, and they are helpful for, you know, for talking with NPCs, non-player characters. Already known. But I don't know when they end. On the other hand, some of the slides of text from monoliths, from the abandoned buildings, and from a few other types of locations which escape my mind, those have begun repeating or switching to new storylines. So let's see what we've got. Yep, Old Faithful. I love these. Some of them are more challenging than others. Most of them are not really very challenging, but that's okay, because that's not really what I'm here for. See, that's weird. I wonder. Oh well. All right, that's okay. Gives us another reference point. Oops, Atlas Pass. Someday. You know, here's a thing, some foreshadowing. I hope it's not foreshadowing, actually. Here's a risk. If you were to go back to the very first episode of this particular, I did one. Birds are the only things I haven't been able to get yet in terms of mapping the species. I assume because they don't sit still large enough. I haven't Googled to see whether or not there's a trick to grabbing them, but I cannot get them to register. What was I saying? Arg. Frustrating. Alright, so I totally forgot what I was just saying. That's awesome. Oh well. I'm sure it'll come back. Oh. I think I see... I'm in the habit of just grabbing resources as I spot them. It's a way to explore a little more. I mean, basically, since the Sentinels will not allow you to, grind resources anyway, you may as well just pick things up on the sly when they're not looking and sort of move on. I really hope there is an orange beacon here, and there does not seem to be yet. That's another thing that has seemed to me surprisingly rare on this particular world, and I don't know if I'm hallucinating that or what, but it's frustrating. Alright, let's try and sneak this guy in. I don't know whether they will adjust the sensitivity of the Sentinels or not. I definitely empathize. I don't entirely agree, but I empathize with those who feel that they're an absolutely ridiculous frustration. I guess what probably is needed is a little more variety in your adversarial encounters. Then again, I just want to explore, so it's fine with me. Yeah, no orange beacons here. That's frustrating. That's really... I need those, A, to eat up some of my chips because they're taking up space. Where's my ship? The only downside of massive amounts of targeting like that is that you can actually lose your own ship in the overhead. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we're gonna take off, and we'll scan around to see what's closer and what's further. If we see any fellow craft in the air, we're gonna try to track them. Alright, what do we got? It's on the other side. 12 minutes. That's good. What's that? See, now why does that have a white dot? What do these white dots mean? I actually have no idea. I wonder if there's a beacon there. Honestly, I don't tend to go back to places, necessarily, or reuse places, but... Oh, now that's interesting. There's another pad. I wasn't just here. This is weird. Okay, why is there a white dot there? What does that mean? I honestly don't know. Look at the coastline. This is why I want to make my characters home here. And actually, if they do end up, allowing stations and this kind of thing, that is... Oh, yes, of course, because I discovered it already, I guess, maybe. But it has one of those, and I absolutely need it. Now, this isn't possibly fresh, is it? Nothing found. Okay. I love the coastlines here. I just want to find one near a spaceport, and that's where I'll be. And this is where I would build my... This is where I would build a station, a terrestrial station, if they allowed me to. Guess I'll go ahead and tag both of those. Tag the 3 that I said I would tag. 3 types. Not too far away. And so basically you can just go from beacon to beacon, kind of triangulating outwards. And if you do that, you will, even if you have a hard time getting back to a particular place, you'll at least be able to get back to like the 50 square miles around it. Yep, okay, I need to check out one of these that's next. Note to self, write it down. Manufacturing facility is next because I need to know. I suspect, if I remember correctly, that those are lockboxes. And if they are, that's actually going to cause me to choose Colonial Outpost even less often, putting it in the same category as transmission for that reason. I mean, I guess it's worth tapping those places to map them, but... And observatory. Okay. Interesting. So it could be that as I gain more... And I can't complain too much about this. As I gain more slots in my exosuit, it's going to show me fewer pods less frequently. Was that... Hold on a second. Oh, nice. Good. Right, we're good. We're good. Let's go. Okay, here's the ship. Oh wait, I swore I was going to go to a manufacturing facility first. Alright, I will. Let's check it out. If I don't do those things, oftentimes I'll forget them, so... Okay, that one's underwater, I happen to know. So I'm developing these kind of strategies for mapping. 2 hours, 2 minutes. I think that is the one I want. Observatory, monolith, and these are all together. So 2 minutes it is. I'm developing these strategies for exploring and mapping, in line with my thoughts about my character, about Akaraza, the Sojourner, which is that he feels as though he is surveying, verifying, and resurveying. Oh, this is great. This is, wow, there's a crater footprint here. I love that. Surveying and resurveying places that Atlas named long ago. Because as you'll see, as you notice, every time you get to a location, it does have an already existing name. It's not like you get a set of inscrutable coordinates. You have an existing name. Taking that and intuiting from that and deducing from that lore and story, what that suggests to me is that Atlas, as a force, has already named as many things as it can in the Euclid galaxy. And you, part of your mission, your goal, we, our characters, part of our mission, our lore, our story, our purpose, may be to rediscover those places, but with a spark of the unknown, a spark of unpredictability, even a spark of irreverence when you get to naming things, you know, Taylor Swift, etc., poop stain, etc. Here they are. Let me show you this crater for a second. So I hope that comes across what I was kind of saying about. Oh, there's a beacon. All right, we're gonna chill out here for a second. Hope that makes sense. Oh, and there's that. Good. All right. I'll go along with nothing, and then suddenly in this wilderness I'll spot a few useful things. Hope that makes sense in terms of us renaming things, us being these kind of scouts. I'll talk a little more about that in the future. Let's, before we forget, go ahead and tap this beacon. And I know I'm probably still using the wrong words for some of these things. Until I remember them, I don't remember them. That's, you know, and once I remember them, I got them, so. I have some of this stuff written down, but some of it I just don't mess with. There we are. Okay, so now I will need to take a few of our friends. Guess what I'll do is make 4 per time. 2 of them for the 2 pings that I now still do. Ah, come on. It takes getting used to for me. And 2 of them for luck. Ah, excellent. 9 hours. Nice. Oh, wait, no. 5 minutes. Yes, okay. Overlapping icons. I understand. It's frustrating. But there is a method to this madness. And it really is to help. It's a hack, essentially, for exploration in the absence of tools to do that more efficiently. Basically, in the absence of me. So, hopefully, eventually, we will be able to drop signal scanners. I am going to write it down. What the heck? Why not? First for everything. Signal scanner. They do seem to be important. So, all right, shelter. Ideally, we would be excellent. Ideally, we would be able to drop those anywhere we needed to and get back to them. I'm hoping stuff like that is coming. I really don't think you ever necessarily know with No Man's Sky, because I think they had kind of brave, in some cases really brave goals take something like the Sentinels. I mean, nobody who's played a game ever could interpret those as anything other than excruciatingly annoying. But there they are, and they have a game roll, and not only that, but I have found from... This is a good spot. We've got a bunch of stuff right here. We're going to hang out for a few minutes. They have a storyline. If and when we find an abandoned building, we'll get to pick that up, and I haven't been tracking that 100... I've explored some of those outside of these Let's Plays, just to preserve a little bit of mystery and incentive for you to explore on your own. But basically, they are just starting out a new storyline in those after the storyline of what I believe to be a sojourner or an explorer like us, who left a continuing log about being infected by the first spawn. That is about the Sentinels. So anyway, alright, here's the deal. I was going to show you a few things. One of them was, in these craters, you have these outcroppings, and these are where... there actually usually is vegetation there. I suspect if I were a little bit closer, there would be. Those are caves. They go in and they tend to make somewhat simple cave systems, sort of blessedly simple cave systems that run in a perimeter, oftentimes all the way around the crater, popping out every little bit of time. In other cases, there are big splotches of iron and iron oxide in what is an oval shape to these craters. Now, if you think about it, those oval shapes are also very similar to what you're seeing on the ground in these spheres that are cracked open, as well as the avocado-shaped chunks of iron as well. So there's sort of an elaborate natural process at work here that I think has to do with the origin of at least life on this planet, or if that stuff, they are craters after all. If those came from impacts, then the origin of that life. I think I got that one. Yep. And that's all deductive reasoning, just from sort of thinking about those and seeing these craters. Okay, so we were going to do a couple things. I will not forget, we were going to check out, there's a station over yonder. I'm going to forget I think I might forget. Oh, there they go. Ah, so I can almost taste it. There's got to be a trading post near here. There's got to. Oh, where is it? Alright, I'm not going to forget. There was another transmitter station somewhere visible from the perimeter. We were going to hit a... Nope. Where are you? Where are you? Yes, I know. Ah, great. Here. We were on our way to this manufacturing facilities to confirm or deny that they're lockboxes. And I saw something a minute away. So I'm actually gonna check this out before I take off. Oops. Sometimes I will accidentally hit my trigger instead of, let's say, jump. It's a little embarrassing. That comes from not being a gamer. I guess, probably. I don't know, I mean, I'm playing a game. I've played games, I've played for, chunks of time. There's an attitude I don't have, and oh, I love these caves. Alright. And other attitudes that I do, and whatever, I can be a gamer, but I don't want to sound like a dork. Probably unavoidable. Because I am certainly a dork. Okay, if you look at this egg, you'll see a chunk, a very bright iron oxide in it. Wow. There's often plants growing out of these. Oh. What? Alright. Discovered. Aha! Ah, nice. That must be it. Okay, I think this is probably only platinum, which ironically you can only tap with a bolt caster, which I am not going to have, so that's okay. Is there a beacon or a signal caster? Is there a signal scanner? Let's see. Probably not. I have a theory about the Sentinels. I have a theory about how closely or, you know, far they are from Atlas and from the Korvax. So as things go on, we'll learn more, you know, I'll get a chance to test that a little better. I don't think I'm needing... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Why not? Alright, where am I headed? My ship is... One thing I love about this game is that you're really doing a type of wayfinding that you do in the natural world. People hate caves. I love caves, even though I've gotten in this game, even though I've gotten lost in a cave, which is the big danger, of course. But I just think it's wonderful to exercise some version of not naturalist skills, but at least wayfinding skills, you know. And you've got assistance in the form of beacons and stuff like that, and markers, which in my case have become a hindrance because of how many I've got installed. There we are. There's my guy. Okay. But, you know, finding your way in and out of a cave. Now, is that... Yeah, that's the beacon I got. Great. Okay, and then in many places, there are these craters which are just sort of filled with life that's kind of bursting out of them. And I suspect I've seen something similar on the other worlds I've been on so far. Not always the same pattern, visual pattern, or rendering pattern, developmental pattern, but you know, similar patterns. Like on Gek Kurag, many of the little pits are several parts of the edges around them have fissures, and those fissures are what goes down into the caverns. So each planet, I think, has its own language and its own peculiarities. There was absolutely a station around this thing, and I'm going to figure it out before anything else. Before I check out that manufacturing facility. It was here. Can't afford... Aha! Okay. This'll do. There's a beacon. Can't afford to let any lead signal scanner. Can't afford to let any signal scanner go to waste at this point because they are stupidly uncommon. Not stupidly. I like that different worlds have different tendencies, different frequencies of things, you know. Certainly more realistic and interesting. Ay. Oh, my buddies. Okay. I'm running not low on plutonium, but alright. I need to try. Oh, yeah, okay. Need a selfie of these things. I am a librarian by career and calling, and so I get an embarrassing amount of enjoyment out of arranging my resources in what may be peculiar ways. Oh, good. Our signal scanner. Here, signal scanner. There you go. Okay. Now, before I do that, before I do that, make a couple more of these guys. 2 for the scanner, 2 for luck. Looks like some good mining there. If I were so inclined. I wish I had all my plutonium in one place so that I could have a better shot at determining how much I needed. I'm good for iron. Wish I had another plutonium, but tell you what, let's see. Here's what I can do. I'll move this zinc over. I will note to self, no more zinc. I'm beginning to basically use my ship as a drop box, and of course my suit as live inventory. Where'd it go? That's interesting. Okay. That ought to do it. That's good. Oh, interesting. Wow. Alright. Oh, wow. Well, that's much better. Of course, now I have no, hopefully that'll be okay. Alright, I did the, I was going to scan, and I just scanned for a monolith. And I tend to jump from one thing to the next a bit too quickly. Half the time I remember, and half the time I have to go back later and figure out what the heck I was trying to do. There's a... Did we already hit a drop pod? Oh! Ooh, abandoned building. We are going to go there after the manufacturing facility, so that I can show you something, which is the continuation of the storyline for the Sentinels. Oh yeah, am I gonna mine anymore? I can stand a little more plutonium. I can always stand a little more plutonium. Oh wait, what? That's interesting. A better launch thruster. Remember to look at that when I outfit my ship for interstellar travel. And my plan for that is to dock this ship in this save and go ahead and get the large freighter that I'm hoping to get to head out there. There's a little trepidation with that. I love the ship. I love exploring with it. I don't think I have any iron right now. Nope, I don't think I do. Oh wait. Oh, this is the post I discovered already. But I still need plutonium. Alright, I'm gonna risk it here. If he is looking right at me, I'm dead. Hello. Nothing to see here. Walk slowly away. So yes, the Sentinels. Everyone loves them. Everyone really doesn't love them. Even I, someone pretty tolerant and accommodating to the story. Did I miss this? Wow. Destroyed. At some point here, I'm going to read out the Gek words that we've learned so far. It'll take a while. Okay, next, manufacturing facility. Alright, and I believe it's over here. And then after that, abandoned building. Great. Oh, there's a drop pod. Alright. You know what? I think... Where's the abandoned building? That's interesting. Oh, we've been there. Good, it's actually gray. That's wonderful. Alright, here's the deal. We are going to do a kind of a run. We are going to drop pod, then to manufacturing facility. And there's this plaque. I guess I'll... tippy. Apologize for my nauseous navigation here sometimes with the ship. Am I going to go for the plaque? I'm going to leave it for now. We've got a bit of a mission, so never hurts to leave some lore to discover later. Pick up a little speed so that I can turn around and get a good run. There we go. Oh, weird. Okay. Guess it's over here. Oh, nice. Nice little chunk of plutonium sitting out there. Where did our drop pod go? What in the world? There it is. Goodness. Alright. Ay, ay, ay. Yep. Okay, good. And extra slots are always worth the money, seemingly no matter how much they cost in this game, which is annoying, but actually I think useful. And in another Let's Play, I've said what I'll repeat now, which is that there are two good sort of lore building related reasons why that could be. And one is, if you have ever explored space travel, like in reality, the logistics of it, you'll know that it's extremely difficult and extremely resource intensive, and every single ounce counts, which means every slot on a real ship would be every bit as precious as the ones here. And I think, you know, obviously that's not explained, but I think it's a motivation for the way they treat, I'm going to tap that after I get my expansion, you know, for the way they treat slots. And another reason is that in quantum physics, and this is a bit of a layman's indulgence, in quantum physics, the value of the unperceived in terms of, so if you have a closed box, okay, so this quite simple, you know, explanation of a little thing here for a moment. If you look up Schrodinger's cat, you'll find a description of a thought experiment where you have a box, a closed box, and it's actually kind of a sad little thing. You better just look it up. I'm not going to describe it. But anyway, the outcome is that when a box is closed, it can be, and in fact is, many things at once. It is in that moment anything that it could possibly be inside there. Well, that's probably not entirely accurate. Any reasonably likely thing it could be in there until you open it, and the state of that is determined. In a similar way, an empty slot in this game is more valuable than anything that could possibly be in it. I think that's an interesting idea. And at this point, that means they're worth 160,000 units. Wonderful use for Thamium 9. I had an idea for exploring in which what I was going to do is just grab a bit of like one slot of Thamium 9 from the sky on the way in, and use it up until it was used, and once it was used, head up into the sky and grab another one, but make an arc while I was doing that in order to end up in a different place when I landed, like significantly further away. I haven't started doing that yet because now I'm dead set determined to find a trading post. But at some point I will try it, I'm sure. See, look at the iron deposit here. Very iron-rich soil, and for some reason copper floats and rears up in these spires. I mean, I like to think that there's a generative logic to every world. All right, 26. Let's do this. Yep, I think, well, no, is it? I really don't, wow, why am I only going 10? That's crazy. Oh, well, no, I don't know why. It's kind of odd. I mean, usually I can't get myself... I like going that slow sometimes. Usually I can't get myself to go that slow if I try. Come on. Alright. Weird. Oh, it's open, is it? Alright, that's odd. Can that be? How can that be? Have I been here? That's weird. Okay. It's alright, whatever. Those are my little buddies. Oh, I have been here. Do I keep coming? No, everything is just self-similar. No worries. I understand. Alright. Hello, buddy. Let's do this. Oh, I was trying to get these guys to let me feed them for the longest time. And they run around, and supposedly, eventually they poop out precious resources. I have not seen one do that yet. Like, at least not that I've been able to figure or detect. They do stop and make pooping motions. So cute. Awesome. I love them. They're great. Alright. Yeah, I'm definitely friends to these little guys on this world. And I wish they would just tell the sentinels to leave me alone. I'm a friend to the animals. I feed the wildlife. Surely that's the most harmless thing possible, right? Yeah. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But I have found that I'd say, 5 times out of 10, yep, just as I thought. Alright. That's useless. Absolutely useless to me. 5 times out of 10, if you try and do it when they're not looking, they won't necessarily detect you, and you can get 1. And if you go around getting 1 at a time, generally it's possible to keep yourself topped off. Alright, so we now know that we run the risk of running into a completely useless lockbox, for my purposes as a player. Useless lockbox at either of those, which means I will no longer be taking option 2 or 3 at my signal scanners. I like to do my inventory maintenance when I get up in the sky. Okay, next was going to be abandoned building. Crash ship. Other side of the world. Not really, not that far actually. 1 hour. Mysterious dot. Manufacturing facility. Never again. Yeah, a bunch of other ones. Where was it? There it is. Okay. Now, these are... I think they're a pretty important location as far as the lore goes. And up to a few a few buildings ago, they were focusing on a different story than they are now. And now they are focusing on the lore of the Sentinels, which is great because, it's like the Sentinels really are the villain that everyone loves to hate. Not because they're such a compelling villain, because I don't think people fully get them yet. Although I have my thoughts that they're kind of like OCD gardeners of these worlds. But we'll get to that stuff as we travel more. Edomi Clearing, that's a cool word. I really kind of love the naming in this stuff. I think they did a really good job with it. I mean, in terms of the generative names. Alright, let's bring it down a notch here and just explore. Oh man, he's by a crate. Alright, I'm gonna take the hit for this one. There we go. Thank you. Wonderful. Build up my... Oh, again! Nice! Build up my resistance. I'm not fast. And nothing found. It's alright, it's alright. I assume my toxicity gear will help with that. Now, usually the things you get at these stations... Oh, good, an isotope. Usually that's what's being guarded by Dangly there. Oh no, that's not right. Suit, and there we go. So, usually, you've gotten one of these, and I like that. I think that's elegant. Toxin suppressants, radioactive suppressants, heat suppressants for your suit. That basically you are heading into sort of dire environments, which these locations represent. Okay, here we go. And I am going to save a screen capture for these. This is, I think, the third or fourth slide in this storyline, so if it cuts out for a moment here, pardon me. I hadn't, but I've decided to just start capturing every lore slide that I find, so... Alright, I'll read it out and then I'll go ahead and capture. Returning user identified, that's us. Terminal now active, unlocking data log continuation for analysis. When there is no explanation for a phenomena, it is a natural progress for intelligent beings to fill in the missing parts of their experience. On some worlds, the Sentinels are still worshipped as avatars of an all-seeing deity. Drones are considered sacred, sent by an unseen god to ensure that they live in enforced harmony with the environment around them. There is a disturbing commonality to many elements of their theologies, a recurring visual symbol of a crimson sphere and the promise of an end time soon to unfold. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Interesting. I do like this hat tip right here. When there is no explanation for a phenomena, I'm going to write that down, because that's precisely the approach I'm taking to lore building here in No Man's Sky. When there's no explanation for a phenomenon, you know what? I'm taking a screen capture. I just have to note that... Now, let me actually put it in this other journal. One moment. Okay. All right, let me take the cap. Now we'll look at the log. And now we will look at the log. I discover something coded deep inside the long-dead traveler's data log. Something has been left. Shield Tau, already known. Okay, great. That's an interesting... I'm really looking forward to this lore line, and, you know, I think in general, the abandoned buildings are really going to be useful for lore building. Okay. Alright, what was our plan from here? Did I miss... I didn't miss a beacon, did I? Or a signal scanner, did I? Not usually. Take a look. I don't think so, but I can't turn fast enough to find out. It's alright. Oh, sun is either setting or rising. I suspect... Honestly, I don't know which. Oh, it's rising. No, not necessarily. Anyway, let's see what we have. And if we don't have anything... Oh, observatory. Alright, we'll try that. This craft I find pretty maneuverable, and that's one of the things going for it. I love it, and I think it's wonderful in this environment. I know I'll miss it when I have a freighter, even if the freighter's classed as maneuverable. But I really also love the freighter, so I'm going to try to get the best of both worlds. Oh, good. Right ahead of us, there's another one. I'm absolutely going there. I saw something. Oops. I totally could have gotten that, but now I'm at risk. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more about the Sentinels and Atlas in the future. You know, I don't, as a, so my character doesn't necessarily have all these bits pieced together, but I'm slowly starting to piece some thoughts together on it. Okay. And our word of the moment will be... Oh, 1 second, I dropped something. Electrolyte, huh. You know, I mean, I really enjoy this in ways that I've enjoyed certain games over the years. Several games in the Myst series, games like Journey, which was way too short, you know, but also exploration games, and Myst in that way is similar. Obviously, the mysteries are not quite as deep just yet, or at least as tightly woven. But I just love exploring in that way, and doing that really frees my mind from stresses. I mean, like you know, honestly, this is vacation time well spent. I mean, when am I going to be able to explore an alien planet in reality? It's, you know, oftentimes too hot to even go outside. So, you know, I think it's great that opportunities for exploration exist at all. 3918. Okay. And this is a great one in that way. I always look around when we get that high up view, but you know, straight ahead of us. All right. I just keep hoping that those ships are a clue. I think they were going that way. Looks like the sun was going down. Let's just pop over here real quick. Oh, so there's another observatory. Absolutely, we will stop in and see you. Did I saved my location, didn't I? And you know what I just realized I've been forgetting to do? Save my waypoints. Okay. That's frustrating. So I wonder whether once you get too many waypoints, they slip off, never to be able to be uploaded and named by you. And I fear that's the case. You know, when I get in a roll, I don't get them. Now I'm doing this, you know, not just for the units, but also for the idea that we are re-indexing and verifying the nomenclature that Atlas has created in the past. And if a term is good enough, then it stays, certainly for me. I mean, I really don't care about the units, but I really would like to be able to name places, even if it's just registering the existing name, because every place with a registered name is one less place that could eventually be called something ridiculous. But then again, you know, if you think about these characters as agents of the unknown, of innovation, have I been here? No, there's just no pattern, maybe. This is interesting. What's going on? Maybe I didn't... That's strange. I don't know. Nope, nothing. I've obviously been here, so... must have gone in a loop. Alright, that's okay. A little strange, because the site wasn't saved, but... Alright, so notice, once again, difficult to find a beacon. Tell you what, this time, we're going to try to find a ship and follow it. Let's get our thrusters charged. And unfortunately, plutonium it is. Okay, here we go. Ah! See, see there's a great example of me pressing buttons when I, like, pressing every button but the button I'm supposed to press. Which one of these days is going to get me in a dogfight without me meaning to, probably. Two ships, that's a hopeful sign. Oh, and I see a line there. That's alright, we're going to have a little adventure here. We can keep pace with these guys. I'm hoping, really hoping, we end up at a, what are they doing? Did they turn? Where did they go? What is going on? Wait a minute, what? Oh my gosh, they're just trying to fake me out. Try to keep a respectful distance. Oh. Okay, this is interesting. What about these guys? Alright, let's follow. No! Yes! Oh my gosh. Okay. No worries, no panic, no worries. We're good. This is good. This is beautiful. Unbelievable. We did it. I can't believe it, like, you know, and it's ridiculous that I'm like, whoa, but I have not been able to find these things. This is amazing. Okay. This is it. This will be our home on Kainadren, at least nearby. Alright. Okay. Take a walk around. Let's loot some bins before we see what the deal is. I always do try to do that though when I get to a place, or I just forget. I can't believe we found it. I seriously... This is great. Great. Unbelievable. I'm kind of surprised that trading posts do not have... They don't seem to have names because they don't have signal scanners, which is, or not signal scanners, I'm sorry, sort of waypoint flags, whatever they are that you tap in order to show that you've gotten to a place. But look at this. Look at this. What's that? Okay, yeah, it's one of those shell things. Got some islands, got a bay. Got a view of, I believe, Gek Kurag, at least from here. You know, this, I mean, depending on the orbits, that's probably Gek X, which was supposed to be named Gek Zub until my hand slipped, which is a dead and lifeless rock, and Akar Azai. Unbelievable. Absolutely perfect. In addition to all that, wow. You have something which I have found to be quite rare. Oh, and look at this guy. My old friend. We'll talk to him in a second. You have a platform here that's even close enough to hop off of. Alright, I tell you what. I really am. I'm going to pause this for now. As I promised, I'm ending this Let's Play with the finding of my harborage on Kainadren, and we'll pick up later. I'm going to do some trading, talk to Captain Hyas, see how he's been doing. After all, he's got this familiar face here. Not his real face, but his ship, which which is familiar, which I love. So thank you for joining me, and when we pick up again later, a bunch of things may be different. I may or may not have a different ship by then, but more likely than not, I will be ready to do my first jump, and I will have saved my location here at this spot on Kainadren, so that I can come back to it later if I want. Alright, thank you very much. I should say, thanks for joining us. I don't have my ending pattern quite figured out yet. Thanks for playing. How about that? Thanks for playing.